Okay, so we're back here. Sorry about that. Kind of part of the last video was cut out, but I decided to do a new one anyway because that one basically covered most of what I wanted to cover for that. Anyway, if you read up on your PHP history, good for you. I highly encourage it. Uh, in this one, now we're going to be covering the overall PHP syntax. Now, I'm gonna go down here. That way I could go ahead and get a good starting point on it. Now, let's go ahead and start with the most basic important thing, commenting. Okay. Sorry, Android. That's a single line comment. Now, see? This is a single line comment right here that we just typed. That will give you, that will comment it out. So that's really more notes, more public notes than anything. Because how it works is the programming languages, this is the part of the language they ignore, as well as white spots. They ignore, the programs ignore those too. So the comment is just what you're typing on there, and the programmer, anything like that that's running it won't won't display it or anything like that. It doesn't need to. It's a comment. So that's really for developers. This is the best way, like whenever you want to share your code and stuff like that. Now, multi-line comment, you're able to write comment in multiple lines. So here's what I'm going to do. Just going to show you how that goes. All right. Where is it? There we go. Starts with a forward slash, and then now the single comment starts with two forward slashes, as you can see. But the multi-line comment starts with a forward slash and then multiply sign there. And then you're gonna get and then when you're done with that line commenting, that's all you do. See, the trick is to understand that the multiply sign goes inside, and then the forward slashes will go outside. So, like here, yeah, there, that's going to be in the inner, and that's going to be the inner. So the text between the two multiplication signs and the forward slashes too. That's important key. In PHP, that's how you would comment it out. So let me actually go ahead and compile that for you here. I'm gonna save. Then we're gonna open it up, view it in the browser. Bam, it works still. See? You can't see it, you know, I zoomed it in. It works. So it's completely ignored out, and you can still see it. So that's what we're going with as the first thing. So you would comment that out just for notes for yourself and everything, which I'm going to go ahead and start doing because I lose track of everything I'm doing. We have to code every piece with a comment. I mean, you could choose not to, but that's not going to be good for professionalism at all. So now the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and first set a variable. We're going to do this too. Now, when setting a variable and everything in PHP, you always want to start with a $sign. That's just how it's designed. It's exactly how it's designed. So you're going to start with that. And right, and now we're setting a variable doing that. Now we're just initializing it here, and the semicolon that always ends it. Let's go ahead and and view in the browser here. Still works, but you know, we just set a variable. So we're setting that, and that is called initialization. When you first create an object or anything, variable, object, stuff like that. It's called initialization. I'll go ahead and summarize that up in one of my other videos. But this is here. Now this here is what we're setting it to. So we're gonna set the variable container, because that's all variables are, is a container for one of the objects. And the objects is, it can either be an integer, a float, string, or char. And char is character. 1, 2, 3. Actually, you know what? Now we're gonna do this as a string first. So 1, 2, 3 radioactive. I'm gonna set that, and then we're gonna type echo. Now there's echo, and then there's print. But echo is basically echoes. It's its own way of displaying that information. So now we're going to do variable container. And then never forget semicolon. Semicolon goes on at the end of every code. Otherwise, it will not compile correctly, and your stuff will be messed up. Save that. And now the double quotes will display the value of the variable. Now this right here, the 1, 2, 3 radioactive, that is a string, and that's also the value of the variable container. It's also the value. So that's what it's going to display, what's contained in that container. Like, so it's kind of equivalent of putting a ball in the cup, and then this is going to display what's in the cup. So you save that. Now let's go ahead and view it in the browser, display it. It works, and define variable. Uh-oh. Let's go back. See what we did. Let's go ahead and give it a try now. Okay. Let's see. Don't tell me that's it. Okay. What is going on here? Oh, wait. I can't believe I didn't catch that one. Let me make sure I spelled it all right. Alright, there we go. Leave me alone. You were gonna do it too. That's the stuff I'd be talking about. You have to pay attention to code. Because there's been earlier versions where PHP you had to set a variable like that, but you don't have to anymore like that. In a string, yeah, that only worked in Java, so I kind of skipped a few steps way ahead before I. That's one thing first. Like if it's with your code, just do the necessary troubleshooting. I'll have to teach a class about that too, because there's still some of that discipline I have forgotten myself. So anyway, this is how you set up. This is how you set a variable, and you actually initialize it like that. So let me go ahead and create initialize it again. While not necessary, still good practice to do. Right, and semicolon. There. See? Alright, save, and then it'll run through the code. See? Still. Because this part of it, what this does, this ultimately initializes a variable or a function, anything like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Just set a variable. Alrighty. Now it's a string type. So in double quotes, how it works is with double quotes, it will read the value of what's contained in it, while the single quotes won't do this. Here, I'll show you what the single quotes do, if not concatenated properly. So save, in browser. See, the single quotes literally takes, like, literally just puts it out there. Like, you ask what, like, think of it like this: with the double quotes, you're asking what's in the cup. With a single quote, you're pretty much saying, "Ooh, that is a cup." It doesn't matter what's in it. That's a cup. It is what it is. So when you're using a variable and everything like that, and you want the value of it to be displayed, use double quotes every time. But single quotes is usable too. It's more clarity and everything, so you're not getting as confused. Here, I'll show you how to. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to concatenate. I'm gonna be using the double quotes here too. So this is, and then we'll put a dot. Actually, what we'll go ahead and do first is put the single quote there. Then we'll put a dot, and then we'll go double quote, double quotes, and then another double quote, and then we'll go dot, and then we'll do another single quote, and then we'll type a space and type zone, and then we'll leave that other single quote there. I'm about out. I'm about done. All right. So I'll go ahead and save this. Bring that up. It said it works. This is 123 radioactive zone. See? Because I'll show you. See, this takes it literal. Then we put the dot, and then we put the dot there. See? Then we put the double quotes, because the double quote shows the value of what's in the variable. And then a double quotes there, and then you got another dot, there, and then the single quote, showing up there, and you got zone. We type that in, ended it with a single quote, and then we saved it, went it up to it, and we go. This is 123 radioactive zone. Yeah. And of course, echo up here is, it works too, and that's gonna display, of course, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. How much can I summarize it within 4%? Because this probably might actually die. So actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and summarize this right now, since I was about to die. Echo, it works. It's a variable container, which is called which I'm calling variable. A variable is basically the container. So that's what we're typing in here. It's just a container, like you throw like a cup. Think of a variable like a cup, and then that variable contains what's put in the cup. And what's put in the cup in the container is we're setting its value here. You do the equal sign and the double quotes. Uh, 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 that's radioactive. 123 radioactive. Then we echo that out using concatenation with the single quotes, double quotes, and everything like that. Now we could go over the data types and everything, and all of that. We will do that. Gotta give you all of it. Can't half-ass it for you. Um, so yeah, basically that's you creating a variable and everything. Now these are essential. You will always do this. You will have to. So don't think it's optional. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, my name is Spencer Williams, and I'd like to thank you for, you know, letting me tutor you this time around, and we'll go ahead and go on from there. So let me go ahead and stop this.